What up? What up? What up? Welcome back to Lockdown Universe. We're in a chill mode today. Still got the chill lights behind me. Welcome back. Welcome back to Lockdown Universe, home of the bizarre, peculiar, and unheard of stories of UFO legend and paranormal lore. Welcome back. You having a good weekend? We are too. Hopefully you'll join us, won't you? For a little story that'll be easy on your soul, easy on your mind. We're going to talk about an amazing story that has to do with the power of the mind. Some might say the power of prayer. Some might say the power of thoughtfulness. Some might say the power of you wishing good things to happen for someone else. You see, anyone can wish well for somebody, and anyone can wish malice upon another. But today we're going to see how just one small prayer, if you will, can change the world. Join in. So today, we're going to talk about a near-death experience that happened mere months ago. Actually, June 24th of 2024. Only a few months ago. And not even a few, is it? Because it's only, August 10th. It's like a month and a half ago. This gentleman wrote into the Near Death Experience Foundation, NDERF.org. His name is John B. And you can look it up as well underneath Extraordinary Experiences. He stated he was working, he was at work. He was doing prep work in a kitchen. And he started to feel some pain in his chest. He basically ran into the tall ice freezer that they had at work, trying to cool off. But he was sweating pretty profusely. He stated at first, I thought I was having a really bad panic attack, but then the coughing started, and I had a feeling of something being jammed into my chest. I quickly went to the manager and asked him to call 911. I'm having a heart attack. Said, luckily for me, the place I work at is very close to the hospital, and we headed there straight away. And the ambulance driver stated, he asked the ambulance driver, he said, am I going to die? And the ambulance driver said, right now you're having a heart attack, John, but we don't allow death on this truck. You're going to be all right. And they gave him something for the pain, which he stated I felt instantly. I remember being rushed into the operating room. I took the phone from the nurse to call my wife and handed her the phone back, and as I began to die, I could feel an extreme pain in my chest and I couldn't breathe, and I began to thrash about. I'm not sure how much time passed since I got to the hospital and when I died, but there I was, above myself, in the operating room, looking down at myself, and my first thought was, oh, I'm dead now. Well, time to move on from here. There was no tunnel with light. There was no sense of travel or movement. One moment I was above myself. The next moment I was in a forest, unlike any I had ever seen before. If you remember the last podcast, we talked about that a little bit. We talked about a tree on a hill. He stated that everything was solid, but not solid. It was made of light, yet I could feel it. It was not like touching it with my hands, but like I was feeling the entire area. Isn't that what I said, right, in the last podcast? I only felt the most powerful feeling of love and peace. This area was designed and made for me. Interesting, right? We might have our own waiting rooms, right, in the upper room. Almost as soon as I arrived in the realm, I looked around, but not like looking around as we do in our physical bodies. I didn't have a physical form yet, so I could see my surroundings clear as day in a 360 view all around me. The first entity I saw was a fox. At first I thought it was God, but it was my guide who was to lead me to my next destination. The fox beckoned for me to follow, and I did. As I passed through this realm, it dawned on me that time is not relevant here or in the next. Time is not linear like we experience it on Earth. Past, present, and future are all happening at once in that realm. It was so awesome to me at that moment. I remember thinking, wow, that's so cool. So time happens all at once. How cool is that? And then we stopped passing through the forest. I was standing at a door and I feel something tell me to come in, so I go in. This setting was a lot different than the forest. This time I was in an office, like a principal's office. There was a desk with chairs on each side, which I found odd. I had no physical body to sit in the chair, so it was kind of strange, yet I sat in the chair in front of the desk. And it was structured in a setting that made me feel comfortable. I didn't feel like I was in trouble. I was still feeling intense love and peace, actually. At this point, I was ready to stay there. I thought the office was where I was going to be told where I would go next. God told me that I had already signed and agreed to go back to Earth before I was born. I wanted to change the deal. He wanted to renegotiate, like Scottie Pippen on the Bulls getting a bad deal for, what did he sign, $17 million for 9 years? He wanted a better deal. But what I knew was that one of many life's choices led me to where I was. And that point was an eventuality that it could happen. I was shown my life map. There it was, right in front of me. So I agreed to go back. At this point, what I can only call God, because in my heart, I know it was the creator of all, told me I would be going back. But that was going back because I have work to do. The Lord's work specifically. I asked millions of questions because my thoughts had began to race. I wanted to take in as much information as I could before I was sent back. Only one question was answered, though. What do prayers feel like? That's a really weird question, isn't it? At that moment, the answer came in the form of a massive jolt. Massive jolt. I instantly felt every single person's prayer that was thinking of me. Their loved ones, family they had lost, everything. I felt every single thought. There was no real words to describe what that felt like because it was such an overwhelming feeling of unconditional love and peace. As soon as the feeling hit me, it was gone just as fast. But the single moment felt like an eternity. Once the feeling was gone, I remember thinking, okay, I'm ready to go back. Could you imagine that? Like feeling everything all at once of one person, much less multiple people praying for you and their families and everything about them. I mean, like, it just sounds so amazing and overwhelming at the same time. So he was ready to go home. The office basically disappeared. He was back in the forest with his fox guide. I later found out my grandmother's maiden name was Fox, so I can only assume that the fox guide was my grandmother. As the fox began to guide me back, the life map was explained to me by my guide. This entity, the fox, lives outside of the realm and stated that they're planned by each of us, the map anyway. There are others that help us set up each life. So there's people who basically organize the game, right? Just like in the Hunger Games. People who organize the game, like Philip Seymour Hoffman did. Such a great job, such a great actor. I wish he was still around. But he went through his death experience as well. And he's on the other side. And so he stated that there's those that help us set up each life, determine who our parents are, what experiences we will go through. Once we pick those things, the higher ones determine when those events will happen, what choices we will have, and what each path for each choice leads to next. And this is in bold letters. Everyone agrees to all of this. The purpose of life and creation is to experience it. I don't know about you, but I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I don't know how, like, some days you just, or some years, or you get to a certain age where you're just like tired. And you're like, okay, I'm experiencing it, but am I experiencing it to the fullest? Sometimes I don't feel that way. And I'm sure you feel the same way sometimes from time to time. The purpose of life is to experience it. Okay. We do here in the physical realm, what we do here in the physical realm either good or bad, all have eventual outcomes and consequences. Bad actions are punished in the physical realm, while back in the other realm, where we actually come from, if we keep making bad choices, then we will keep having to relive that until we get it right. See, that's what I've thought all along. I'm like, how many times have I been here, and how many times have I relived this life? And I know I'm not doing everything exactly right. I'm who knows? Maybe I'll be back here sooner than I can think. I don't know, but we'll see. We live all of it, the good, the bad. We do it all. Live your life with good intentions, pure love, and even when you do make a bad choice, you quickly learn and correct it. What we do doesn't matter so much as that we don't hurt each other, and when we learn the lessons that we're here to learn, we use them, right? The fox told me this, but not with words like humans use. It was with feelings, a passing of knowledge, and pictures of planning out my life before being born. One thing was constantly at the back of my mind, my wife, and how much I wanted to be with her. I thought how scared she must be right now. I desperately wanted to be with her, but at the same time, I did not want to go back. Yet I knew I had to go back. The next thing I experienced was darkness and falling through the realms back to earth. The next thing I remember is opening my eyes. I tried to speak, but I couldn't because of multiple tubes down my throat, just like the last NDE. That's interesting. I was confused for a moment, and then all the memories came flooding in. I can't imagine waking up with tubes in your throat, man. Oh, man. I don't like that idea at all. So a nurse came into the room, and I motioned with my hands for something to write with and write on. I was given a notepad and a pen, and I wrote "wife?" ? I was told that she had gone home to rest, and she would be back soon. I remembered hearing her say that before she left that night that she would be back at 6 a.m. I woke up exactly at 6 a.m. asking for her. My wife arrived just as the nurse came in to take out the tubes, and I could breathe on my own, and I was finally done coughing and was able to speak, and I screamed out, "I saw God!" I stayed awake as best as I could, but I did nod off here and there. I was starving. I'd never been so hungry in my life. When I asked for food to get up and walk around to use the restroom, the nurses and doctors looked at me like I was crazy. They brought me a huge plate of fruit, which I ate as fast as I could. And I was walking laps around the ICU floor. I was able to go to the bathroom, talk, and I answered all the questions like, what day is it? What time? What year is it? Who's the president? He's like, I answered all those stupid questions, he said, even my social security number. They were dumbstruck, and I asked how long before I can go home. They did some tests, and 6 hours later, I was at home resting and enjoying a nice lunch. It's only been 5 days at the time of writing this since I had the heart attack and died. Wow, that's crazy how fast he wrote this, but he really wanted to get it out there, apparently, right? Memories of my experience are still coming back to me. Some areas are a little bit cloudy and coming back into focus. I feel like it would take a lifetime to go through it all, as many people say. But at the time, I know each day I'm alive, more will come back to me, and that's what I've heard too. But yeah, this is wild, man. Apparently he was only dead for 2.5 minutes, but it sounds like he lived quite a long time in the afterlife. He stated, just like the other lady, everything seemed to be happening at once, or time stopped, or lost all meaning. Isn't it so interesting that time exists here, but it doesn't exist anywhere else? That's fascinating to me. A lot of people liken it to the Matrix, like there's no time. But basically he came back and he's like, all these guys, a lot of these guys say they just want to change their life. Was this guy religious? He says Christian, but basically he strayed from his faith and even denying God for a brief time. He was more agnostic in his 20s and 30s and had gone back to his faith. I wonder how old he is, though. It doesn't really say. But he says we're in a school. Our soul and our essence is immortal and never dies. We experience all levels, dimensions of creation to constantly learn and grow. We plan out these lives that we live. We all agree to it. All the events in life's paths are laid out before us. And it was a huge feeling of love. But what I think is the most interesting part of this story is that all the questions that he had for God were not answered. A lot of people say when they ask questions to whoever the being is that they encounter, that they get the answers. But in this case, the only answer that was given to him was what do prayers feel like? Bam, and he felt it immediately, and it was strong and it was powerful, and it was the only question that was answered. And so he understood what prayers were and what they meant, and how they played a role in moving society forward, not just himself forward, but society forward, and how that makes a change and a big difference in our entire humanity. So when you pray for somebody, or you think about somebody, or your thoughts, like you say, your thoughts and prayers are with somebody, that can make an entire difference, because your thoughts are energy, and they can change someone. Even look at these healers like Charlie Goldsmith. When they think about somebody that's having a specific problem and they're focusing on that specific problem with just their mind, they're able to make a significant improvement on that ailment. That's just the power of thought. That's not even the power of surgery or anything like that. So all of us have this within us. It's just a matter of time for us to understand how it scientifically works. But all we have to do is use it, pray, or think about someone, or wish well wishes. If you're not religious, that's okay. Just wish well wishes for someone. It's the same thing. It's the same principle. It's the same energy moving forward to help someone. And when you do that, not only are you changing their lives, but you're also changing your own, because you're changing your thought process. You're rewiring your brain towards a positive mindset, towards a positive goal for humanity. And when you focus on that, you're also changing your own physiology. You're changing how your chemistry works, the stress within your body works. So you're changing how your body reacts to stress and obstacles. And you might be prolonging your life, and you may be also learning the lesson you were meant to learn while you're here on this school of rock. And I don't mean rock and roll, I mean school of being on the rock of Earth, the third rock from the sun. Pun is intended, but whatever. So, will you think about someone in a positive way? Will you try to give them your thoughts? Will you try to wish them well wishes? Will you try to wish yourself well wishes? Remember, we have to be kind to ourselves too. And we have to be willing to forgive ourselves for our past transgressions, so we can move forward and try to be good people and feel good about ourselves. Don't beat yourself up for the past. Take it as a lesson, move forward, and continue to learn. Continue to be a good person like you already are. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off. I can hear the dogs running around upstairs, so I'm going to let you guys go. Take care of yourselves physically, spiritually, emotionally. Follow through on your hobbies and your goals and your dreams. And as always, continue to question the universe around you. Until next time, guys, take care of yourselves. Go like, follow, share, subscribe. And Lockdown Universe is out. Peace.